Hello everyone, friends of Barça. Today, welcome to this new video where I bring you more information about the transfer market. And attention, because the name Rafael Leao, the Portuguese player, is being mentioned again at Camp Barça. Although honestly, I don't know if it's just rumors or if it's true. But in this video, I'm going to tell you what I think and the information that is available as of today. Hit the like button, don't leave, and subscribe to the channel. Stay until the end of the video. I'm bringing you everything about Rafael Leao. Let's get started. Rafael Leao, Portuguese footballer from Almada, 1'88", left winger. From Milan. An extraordinary footballer, honestly. A player who is a beast, who is obviously liked and loved by any team in the world. A very fast, electric, powerful player who has a lot of dribbling ability. He is also a man who in the locker room, maybe one of his most negative traits is that he doesn't quite manage to be a person. That it brings the teammates together a lot from what you hear, from what has always been said. Well, according to the press about this footballer, he's a bit of a troublemaker, but anyway, that's beside the point. Because every locker room is its own world. Rafael Leao is a phenomenon, and it's worth mentioning that last season he was already being linked to Barça. I remember that Jose Alvarez from El Chiringuito, who always has good info about Barça. Because of his close relationship with President Joan Laporta, he already said that Leao was one of his favorites. Laporta's rights, President Laporta's rights. In the last few hours, the Barcelona press has said that Laporta has said it. Fabrizio Romano is preparing a big signing. But there are many people who think that maybe this summer is when that big signing will arrive, that maybe it will happen next season. Not with the elections for the Barça presidency, but what is clear is that Leao is very much liked by Laporta. And besides, his agent is a certain Jorge Mendes. The super agent Jorge Mendes, Portuguese, who also has a great relationship with Joan Laporta. I'm not going to fool anyone, and I'm going to say what I think, right? I don't have much information because as of today, they're nothing more than rumors. There's nothing clear. I can't give you clear and concise information about any offer or any approach from Barça to Leao. Is there any Catalan media that has talked about this in the last few hours, like for example National Cat, which I don't consider very reliable? Here they say that Leao is setting a deadline to sign for Barça. The Portuguese player is an option to strengthen the attack. But then down here they admit that the price of Rafael Leao is a big obstacle to closing the deal. He is a soccer player. They say that Milan will not negotiate for less than 80 million euros. Therefore, this makes things much more complicated. For Barça to be able to sign him, Barça has money, but Barça always has problems. It's with fair play, which is a very different thing. Because you have to look at the salary, you have to look at the years of the contract, then all of that, you have to divide it and see how much fair play it gives you. For a player like Rafael Leao, who can easily cost 80 or 100 million euros and then a high salary. Barça today? I know that he might be interested, I don't doubt it because he's a great footballer, but I think that today, talking about a signing like Rafael Leao is a bit difficult. And also because there are other options on the left wing that are much cheaper and I think could even end up being better. I'm talking about Nico Williams, I'm talking about Marcus Rashford, which we've also discussed in another video on the channel. By the way, we'll leave you the Rashford loan video card here. With a purchase option, Nico Williams might interest Barça with a 60 million euro clause. Also cheaper, younger than Leao, he's Spanish. He's a friend of Lamine, of Valde, from Pedri and Fermin's group. So the Leao issue? It has to be an election bombshell, I think. More than just elections, a super bombshell. And say, I'm bringing in a star. But as of today, I see it as very difficult. What has Leao done this season? Let's take a look. Let's see Rafael Leao's statistics. With a Milan that, by the way, finished 8th out of Europe, Milan in 8th place. 63 points, 82 for Napoli. A huge, abysmal difference. Well, look, Rafael Leao, who has a contract in force until 2028 with a market value of 75 million euros. In Serie A, he has scored 8 goals. 8 goals in the Italian league and 10 assists. In the Champions League, in 10 matches, 3 goals and 1 assist. Those are very poor stats, very poor. In the Italian Super Cup, 1 assist, and in the Italian Cup, 1 goal and 1 assist. 12 goals and 13 assists. I mean, very poor for him, very poor for a player like him. Of the caliber of Rafael Leao, who for me is a mega star. I think Leao, he should leave Milan. Honestly, I think the team doesn't support him, and he should also change direction so that from here on, he can be much more at ease. Their numbers. Leao's numbers are very poor at Milan as well, and this year he hasn't performed at the expected level. But you have to admit that if you like soccer, if you like the spectacle, if you like the show, watching Rafael Leao, the Portuguese player, is a wonder. It's a wonder. But I want to see him in another team, in a big one. And it's not that Milan isn't a big club. With all due respect to the Rossoneri, it's just that they're not going through a great moment right now. Rafael Leao in a Real Madrid, in a Barça, in a Bayern Munich, it has to be crazy. In an Arsenal, it has to be brutal, or in a Liverpool. It has to be incredible. Afterwards, at Barça as well, which I haven't mentioned, the other option for Barça is Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz has a market value very similar to Rafael Leao's. And honestly, today, if I had to pay for a big signing for immediate performance, I would sign Luis Diaz before Rafael Leao as well. Therefore, I think the Rafael Leao card is, as of today, far from being a reality for Barça. But in the world of football, and with Jorge Mendes involved, we never know what could happen. But the reality is that it's very difficult for a deal like Rafael Leao's to happen for Barça. I'll tell you what I think with the information that's available, which isn't much. It's my point of view. Now I want to know yours, your opinion. Let me know in the comments. Would you like Rafael Leao to come to Barcelona? I'll read your comments and see you next time. In the next video, give it a like and subscribe. Barça yesterday, Barça today, Barça forever.